Hey everyone, welcome back to Watch List Episode 3. This is a show where I show you some watches that I'm interested in from some Japanese auction websites. I'll try and predict the final price, and I'll also let you know if I win the watches in the end. So to start us off, we have a Grand Seiko. This is a vintage Grand Seiko. It's the 4522-8010, and this thing is made of solid 18 karat yellow gold. So this thing is pretty much like a gold nugget. Now this watch doesn't come with a leather strap, but that's probably for the better because if it was made of crocodile or alligator, I might have some issues getting it over here to Canada. Now the seller did state that the watch is functioning normally and you can change the time, but this is a vintage watch and it's also a high beat movement, which tends to wear out faster. So I feel like if I did win this watch, I would probably get it serviced, which I'm not sure how difficult that would be because most watchmakers here in North America, they're familiar with Swiss watches, but not as much for Japanese watches. In terms of the final winning bid, I'm going to guess it's somewhere between maybe 3,500 to 4,000 Canadian dollars. But yeah, we'll see. I'll probably bid within that range because I don't want to bid too high because again, I'll need to buy a strap for this if I win, and I also probably will have to get it serviced. Next up, we have another Grand Seiko. I believe this is the SBGW031, but I'm not 100% certain. So this is another manual winding Grand Seiko, and it is kind of in the vintage territory. I think this watch is from the 90s to 2000s, and this watch here does not come with a strap as well, but also the back plate, one of the screws is missing, so you would definitely have to get that fixed or get that dealt with. You probably need to service the movement as well. So it's not in the best shape, but it does seem like the dial is in pretty good condition. I'm not the biggest fan of the design. It is really nice and clean and minimal, but I find it to be a little bit too boring. But if I can win this watch and then fix it up for a good price, then I'll happily do that. Now it seems like online the average price for the SBGW031 is about 3,000 Canadian dollars, but considering that there's no box or papers, there's no strap, and the screw is missing, so you'll probably have to service it, I'm going to guess that the winning price will be somewhere around $1,500, but I think me personally, I'm not going to bid anything higher than $1,000. And finally, we end off with an Omega Seamaster. This is the 2263.80, so this is a 36mm quartz model. I've been actually wanting to buy this watch for over a year now, probably a year and a half, and I've been just waiting for the right opportunity to buy one. I want one with a good condition. I do want the box and papers, and this one has all of that. So hopefully I'm able to win this watch because it seems like the condition's pretty good. And the reference winning price I think is a little bit too low. I've seen these watches sold for 1,300 Canadian minimum, but it can go up to around 15 to 1,800 Canadian. But for me, I'm going to see if I can get a good deal out of it. I'm going to see if I can win it for about just over 1,000 Canadian dollars. That's definitely an under offer, but who knows? We'll see if I can get a good deal here. Alright, so now it's price reveal time. So for the Grand Seiko 4522-8010, the final winning price is 3,814 Canadian dollars or 383,000 yen. So I actually woke up at 6:30 a.m. to try and win this watch, and I ended up getting into a bidding war with some other person because it basically went down to me bidding 1,000 yen more than that person, and then that person would also beat me by 1,000 yen. And we just keep going back and forth and back and forth. And the thing about Yahoo Auctions Japan is that every time you make a bid and there's less than 5 minutes, it adds another 5 minutes. So I feel like the other person was just toying with me because there would be about a minute left in the auction and then he would place his bid. So he would always wait until there's about a minute remaining and then he would place a bid and then it would be extended by 5 minutes. So it was definitely annoying, but I guess the person's strategy worked because I ended up just giving up and the other person won, and I kind of wasted an hour of my sleep, but that's okay. I feel like there's other watches out there that I can end up winning too. Next up, we have that SBGW031, the one with the missing screw on the back, and the final winning price for this watch is, well, there is no winner for this watch actually. The current price now says 1,600 Canadian dollars or about 160,000 yen. So basically what happened here, or what I believe happened, is that right before the auction ended, the price was around 1,600 Canadian dollars, and then the seller actually ended the auction early, took down the listing, and then just put it up for the same price, 160,000 yen. And I believe they're doing this because they want this to sell at a higher price. So they weren't happy with the 160,000 yen. They're hoping that someone else is going to bid a little bit higher. And that's another thing I don't like about Yahoo Auctions Japan is that the seller can actually end the auction early if they don't like the price or for whatever reason, and then they can just put it back up again. So this can happen over and over again. And I've seen watches on this website that has been listed probably dozens of times, and it's never found a winner because the seller doesn't like the final price. So they'll just keep taking it down and then just putting it back up again. So I don't think anyone's ever going to win this watch, because until someone bids maybe like 1,700 Canadian dollars or something like that. All right, and finally we go back to that Omega Seamaster. The final winning price for this watch is 1,500 Canadian dollars. So a little bit higher than the minimum of what you'll find online, but this is about right given the condition and the fact that it comes in the box. So yeah, my bid of $1,000 was nothing close, but this is a sealed bid auction, so I actually couldn't see the final price until after the auction ended. I was just trying to find a good deal, but it looks like for now I'll just have to keep looking and keep trying for an Omega Seamaster. It might take a few more months or it might take a few more years, but that's okay. So that's it for this episode. It looks like I came out empty-handed today, but I'm okay with that. There's already other watches that I'm bidding for, and hopefully I'll win those. What's next on this channel is that I'll be reviewing the Citizen ProMaster Nighthawk, so definitely keep your eyes open for that one. But until then, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, I'll see you guys next time.